Hey, shout out to the whole wide world. Happy Damodar. It's November 1st. Happy birthday to my great grandmother, Mercedes Wright. And I just want to point out something real quick. I noticed that when melanated women, especially black women, when they dress, like when they wear garbs, when they wear traditional clothing, when they wrap their head, when they wear dresses, colorful dresses that look cultural, men treat them different. We wouldn't dare talking crazy to them. It's just something about a royally dressed, like if you take an American black woman and dress her like a Nigerian, as opposed to having her dress like Cardi B, you can come out. As opposed to having her dress like Cardi B or what's that girl's name? What's that other girl's name who looked like a Barbie doll? I forgot her name. She's Nicki Minaj. Yeah. So when you, as a woman, when you're going out there dressing like a prostitute or like, a night woman, people will talk to you and treat you like a night woman. But if you're out there dressed culturally like a queen, even the most ardent racist will be hesitant to talk to you any kind of way. The proof is in the pudding. You see, when they put us in the bottom of the ship as a people, one of the first things they did was take our clothes off. So your clothes identify what you think about yourself. Just like when I see young boys on the train, I used to always run down on them. You got to be careful how you talk to young people nowadays because people's ego is very, very fragile and you'll get killed for looking at the person the wrong way. But I would run down on young boys and be like, yo, what was the first, I think I mentioned this in a video before. What was the first thing Adam and Eve did after they quote unquote sinned against God? After they disobeyed God's order not to eat of the tree of knowledge, what was one of the first things Adam and Eve did? They put some damn clothes on. You see, when you're running around showing people your butt, it shows you don't care about yourself. It shows that you feel like you are an ASS. So you want to give the whole world your ASS. Clothes, with clothes come dignity, There's a different reaction to a person who dresses for the part. Like if you out there dressed real nice day to day, you're less likely to be suspected of a crime than someone who's out there dressed like, a construction worker or somebody dressed like a cat burglar. I mean, people are going to make assumptions about your character. If you're dressed like a cop, people are going to assume that you're a cop. And if you're dressed like a king or a queen, people are going to assume that you're royalty. It's subconscious. First thing they did for the black man and woman when they put us on the slave ship, or even before that, was take our clothes off. Some of us were lucky to have loincloths, and some of us were walking around butt naked, stripped of all human. I see people walking their dogs, especially in the winter, and they'll be decent enough. They'll put some rubber gloves, like especially when there's salt on the ground. They'll put some rubber mittens on their dog's feet. They'll put a blanket on his back, a jacket. Even animals are afforded more dignity than my ancestors who were enslaved and forced to come build this very beautiful country. And to add insult to injury, for people to say, pull yourself up from the bootstraps. My dude, I'm the one who created your bootstraps that's on your feet. So why should I have to pull myself up? Ain't nobody here to beg for nothing, but something is owed and something will be paid. So I just want to say specifically to the black women out there, you will be treated different according to how you dress. You go into that office, they won't be calling you all of them words. They won't be telling you about your dreadlocks. First of all, you got your hair wrapped up. But when you do wear it out, everything on your body is like an African queen. They are intimidated by that, but they also respect that. But if I continue to dress in the image of my oppressor, they will never respect me. They will know I'm always their child. If I continue to carry his name or his culture or his ways or his mentality or his language, and I don't do anything to seek my past, my former glory, then the subliminal message I'm sending is that I am totally subdued by your system of white supremacy, and I am satisfied and I enjoy it. So I'm asking everyone out there to rebel. We need an intellectual rebellion. We need a spiritual rebellion. Throwing bottles. As a matter of fact, the people that's out there doing all of the violence is usually boogaloo boys, which is people who work for Trump. If there's a riot, any kind of race riot, a protest, the first one to throw the bottle, the first one to graffiti Black Lives Matter is usually a white person. I'm just telling you, for their help, the kind of help they give us, we might as well just have enemies. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see them talking about changing the history books that give us an inferiority complex and them a superiority complex. I don't see our white friends trying to change those books. I don't see my white Hare Krishna devotees going to the police precinct, chanting, distributing prasadam and books. Nobody cares about black people. Not even black people give ourselves a break. So I don't know how much hope there is for us, but I didn't make this video to take away all of our hope. I'm just saying to the black women, dress differently and you'll get a different result. Another thing, there's people out there talking about toxic masculinity. Ain't no such thing as toxic masculine. Well, there are masculine people who are toxic and there are feminine people who are toxic. But masculinity comes from Krishna. He is the ability in man. All of the good attributes in femininity comes from Krishna. He's the good attributes in women. It's there, word for word, in the Bhagavad Gita. This ain't philosophy or something. I'm guessing the supreme Bhagavan of the universe endorses masculinity for men, femininity for women. And if you're one of those people who are in between masculinity and femininity, if you belong to the third sex, or if you're intersex, or if you're homosex, that is your business. In the Judeo-Christian concept of sexuality, there's only male, female. But in the older religions and in the more earth-based religions, they have more fluid views of sexuality. In the Vedic system, in the Hindu system, the Hare Krishna system, whatever you call it, they neither condemn the third sex and they don't promote the third sex. They just leave it like, it is what it is. There's still a living entity. I don't have a right to knock that person for feeling or acting differently than I do. But in the Judeo-Christian Islamic way of life, you can be punished even with death for being born different or choosing to go different. Once again, this video ain't even about that. It's just about how you dress and how you carry yourself, specifically to the black woman. At least try it. You know what I'm saying? If dudes is at work treating you kind of way, or your bosses or people talking crap, go in there decked out in some Nigerian garb one day and see how they react. So this is a word to the wise, and what's the best? So all my people, election day is a few days away, and I hope that the Americans make a wiser choice this time. Not that we have any good candidates, but fire is fire, it still burns, right? But man, I tell you, ain't nothing worse than that orange Cheeto that's in the office right now. And I don't care. I made it political because politics do affect my life. But in the meantime, sisters out there, dress right and you'll get the right results. Men, pull up your pants. Stop walking around just looking weird, man. Just be men. Ain't nothing wrong with being a man. Ain't nothing wrong with being a woman. Ain't nothing toxic about that. Again, Krishna is your Y chromosome. Krishna is your testosterone. Krishna is your X chromosome. Krishna is your estrogen. There is no problem with being masculine or feminine. There's just a simple problem with being toxic. And hopefully by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, we could take a little bit of that toxicity away. And it's true. Because during the churning of the ocean, Samudra Manthan, millions and trillions of years ago, the demons and the demigods came together in this universe to churn the milk ocean. The first thing that came out of the Milk Ocean was Visha. Visha means poison. So the whole universe was being poisoned from the top down. And they didn't know what to do. But they knew that Visha is poison, and Visharam means satisfaction or annihilation of all problems. Like Visharam would be the equivalent of the word Hotep, which is peace or satisfaction, right? So Visharam, but the poison was spreading through the universe, the Visha. So what did the demigods do? They said, we need to turn the Visha into Visharam. Now, what's missing from Visha is the word Rama. So they had to find Lord Rama. And Lord Rama is non-different from his name. So the closest person that was always chanting the name Lord Rama, 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 Nama, Rama, Nama, Rama, Nama, Ram, 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 was none other than Lord Shiva. So the demigods approached him with the Visha. So it wasn't like Lord Shiva was noble and said, I'll just drink all of the poison in the universe, even though he agreed to do it. The point was that once you have counteracting forces, things balance themselves out. So they took the Visha to the man who was chanting Rama. They put the Visha and the Rama together, and everything was peace. So again, if you got some problems in your life, resort to the holy names of the Lord. Om Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nitya Ananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. May everybody be blessed for this month of Kartik Damodar. Peace, y'all.